Alright guys, here we have the HobbyZone Duet. It's a pretty cool little plane. Came out a few months ago. I've actually had it for a while, and it was winter and then it was always windy or rainy. I finally got a pretty good day to fly it. So we're going to go ahead and do a maiden flight today. Talk about it a little bit first, of course. This comes in a ready to fly package. In the box, you get everything needed to fly it. You're going to get your transmitter, and your transmitter doubles as a charger. On your transmitter, you have your throttle stick, and then you have your yaw and pitch on the right stick. You have trims for this, and then, like I said, it's also your charger. In the bottom here is where you put your battery. Your battery is a 150 milliamp single cell 25C battery, and that's going to plug in to the bottom of your transmitter here, and the light will go red, and you'll start charging. So we're going to go ahead and let that charge, and it also comes with 4 AA batteries in the box. Other than the 4 AA batteries, the transmitter, and the single cell plane battery, you get the plane. That's all that's in the box, that's all that you need to fly. Now the plane is 20.6 inches long and 14.5 inches wide. So it's, actually I did that backwards, it's 20.6 inches wide, 14.5 inches long. So it's not a huge plane at all, it's a micro. But it's very great for backyard flights. You don't need a ton of room to fly it. It'll do great in backyard flights, do great in indoor gyms. It doesn't like a lot of wind, but as long as you got a calm day, it's great outside. And like I said, if you have somewhere inside that you can fly, awesome too. We'll do great indoors with completely still air. You have landing gear on here, tail wheel, which is not turnable, and then you have the front landing gear, which are removable. So we're going to fly without these today. All you do is pinch and push them up in or pull them out. And we're going to fly without, we're just going to belly land today because we're going to be flying over grass. Now this is an interesting setup. It has your standard elevator, nice and big, has lots of control there. And then, other than a rudder, you have no rudder. But what it has is you have these 2 motors with dual props. And how you're going to get your yaw control is based on the speed of these motors. So if you are, wanting to turn right, the left motor will speed up when you give input. If you want to turn left, this right motor will speed up to turn you that way. So the one thing you have to be careful about, and I talk about this when I fly as well, is you have to have throttle on when you're turning. Like if you don't want to put your throttle all the way down in like a glide, because then you're not going to be able to turn very well. Because when your power is all the way down, let's say you're gliding or you think you're going to crash into something and you want to slow down and you want to turn to get out of the way, well, if you have no throttle on, your blades aren't going to be spinning and you're not going to get any turn control. So you want to make sure always to have your throttle at least a little way up, and the more you have it up, the more power you're going to get for turns. So just keep that in mind when you're flying it. This does have, they call it virtual instructor, and it's gyro systems that help beginners fly. Makes it real easy for beginners to learn on with the gyro systems in here. And basically it's just a nice little foamy that flies kind of like a glider mixed with, I'd kind of call like a high wing trainer, even though it's not. It looks like a glider, it flies like a glider, but it flies very easy for a beginner. So that's what you get in the box, and that's what it is. Let's go outside and see how it flies. Alright guys, this is going to be the maiden flight of the HobbyZone Duet. We're going to take it up and fly it around, see how it does. It's a little windy out here, guys. So you can see it kind of moving around. It does kind of have problems turning when you lower the throttle because it turns with those motors. So you got to be careful if you want to turn not to have the throttle too low, because that's how you're going to be able to turn. It doesn't have a standard rudder. Sorry. It's a little windy. This thing definitely gets battled by the wind more than I thought, because it's not really that windy today. But it definitely gets pushed around a little bit by the wind. So definitely want to fly this only on very calm days. Or indoors. Or indoors if you got like a gym or something like that. But it does fly nice. You just do have to be careful about that throttle, because you lose all control of your yaw when you lower the throttle. So if you need to make a quick turn, it's best to turn up your throttle, as you can see there, and then you can do a quick turn. Use your elevator, and it does do loops nice, as you see. So it is a pretty sporty plane for what it is, but
the rudder control is kind of odd to me. That being said, for the price, it's not too bad of a plane. I'm going to try to just fly it around slow and do one little circle around the field here. As you can see, it can fly pretty slow, and it does fly pretty nice. As you get more used to the motors, it's actually feeling a little bit better to me now that I'm getting used to the motors, but it is a little awkward at first. Alright, we're going to do one more loop here. One more. Pretty cool. We're close to the ground, but it does those pretty tight and nice little loops, so that's fun for beginners to be able to do that easy. Now let's go ahead and bring it in. I'm going to attempt to catch it just for fun. Going a little faster than I wanted to, so I'm doing some circles. Still going kind of quicker than I wanted to. I think I might just land it. I got close. Alright guys, so don't stop. Alright guys, so overall, pretty cool little plane. It does fly nice. You got to be careful because your rudder control, like I said, is based on your speed of your motors, so that's how it turns. So you got to be careful not to turn down your throttle and get those motors shut off trying to slow down and turn, because you're not going to have any turning power with your throttle down. You just have no motor control, and that's what does your yaw, your turn of the plane. So once you get used to that, it actually flies pretty good. As you saw, it does loops pretty crazy fast. That's fun. And flies around pretty nice and slow. Wind is a little bit of a problem, but as long as it's a nice calm day outside's good, or if you got a gym to fly inside, it's a perfect plane to learn on. So happy flying. See y'all later.